So these Iceberg lists have become pretty popular on YouTube, and I decided I'm going to jump on the bandwagon and make it Enstars. Special thanks to Maid and Tokimeki because she created the original Enstars Iceberg list that I will use in this video. I'm not sure if she made an explanation sheet. I couldn't find a full-length one, so I decided to take a crack at it and also include my own bonus ones at the end. The War. The war is basically a large idle conflict that happened the year prior to the events of the first game. People outside of Enstars fandom question the war because it was mentioned heavily in stories and amongst fans, and the joke is that it is almost impossible to describe it to someone outside of Enstars. However, there is an explanation on the English Enstars wiki that gives a pretty in-depth explanation. Hey everyone, my name is Kaoru Hakaze, is a meme on the English side of Enstars because Kaoru's voice actor Keiya Hosogai was able to give Kaoru a proper English introduction that sounded very funny. Fans are able to repeat the video verbatim and often use it as a comeback. Wataru's hair is alive. This is just a thing in Enstars that Wataru's hair is sentient and able to move freely and be used as extra limbs. Koga Ball. In Bukutsu Stars, which is an Enstars gag comic, Koga looks like a dog-shaped ball. And you can adopt one of your own for a small payment of $68. Rainbow Circus. Rainbow Circus is a song from Fine's first album, which is universally memed for being ridiculous in concept and in execution, and is often cited as a rebuttal when people say that Fine is the best unit. Why did they censor rabbits? The common misconception that the stylized spelling of rabbits with the asterisk in the middle is censored like one would use for content warnings. Eichi Monologue. Eichi Tenshon is notorious for monologuing for pages upon pages, much to the dismay of English translators. Enstars, what did Eichi do? A joke Google search that those outside of the Enstars fandom will try to understand the lore and main story in a concise format. The answer, Eichi did everything and nothing wrong, and nothing is concise in Enstars. Ensemble Stazu. Water used to scream this at you when you would open the app. It was like playing Russian roulette if your phone was unmuted. Enstars anime delays. Universally joked about because the anime was announced December 2015 to come out in 2017. It was postponed numerous times without explanation until it was set to come out in summer 2019. Everyone thought that the anime again would be delayed until it was quietly cancelled, but to most people's surprise, the show came out and even ran for a full season. Switch Fortnite dance. The unit Switch hit the chute in the Temptation Magic music video released in early 2020, but it was also performed at the Third Dream Live. So what, Eichi? Kato said these iconic words to Eichi as a comeback to "It's going to be Christmas soon, Kato," because he literally lives in a Buddhist temple and does not celebrate Christmas. This was in Chapter 5 of the Agent's Gotcha story. Izumi does not equal Koga, one of the initial warnings given to new fans because of the rampant amount of people confusing the two due to their similar shade of hair. Do not confuse the two. Amazing/marvelous. Catchphrase used by Wataru and Tsukasa respectively. Fans meme it because it's one of the few words written and spoken in English in-game. Tomoya's Ensemble vs. Santa. 2017 Christmas campaign has Tomoya finding and giving presents to all the other students in order for the player to unlock voice lines. And it is a given that he was just Santa Claus that year. Leo's sixth oddball. A theory that Leo was another oddball due to his talent and eccentric behavior, which became canon in the Knight's Reminiscence event Checkmate when it was revealed that Leo was in fact going to be considered an oddball, when Eichi changed his mind last minute because he could use him differently. Adonis Fantasy. In Bukutsu Stars, Adonis wears a shirt titled Adonis Fantasy, and it became a very popular meme. It was made into merch in which you could put the shirt upon your skin and become Adonis Fantasy yourself. This is not to be confused with Alexander Mountain after the collab event. Six Finger Wataru. In Wataru's first 5-star card, Magic Recipe, he has 6 fingers, which was eventually patched to have 5 fingers. Acknowledged universally as a cursed image. Russian literature. This is a joke about the dramatic way Enstars is written, a quiz trying to differentiate what dialogue was from Enstars versus an expert from a famous Russian classic was spread amongst the Twitter community. Big Sis Maddie. Mika calls Mademoiselle this in the English dub of the anime. Tsumugi Curse. In general, misfortune befalls this man. Nearly a year after his release, he received his first 5-star card, but it was an event ranking card. Then he had to wait even more months to receive his first 0.5 star and his gotcha card. He was also responsible for numerous bugs and glitches whenever new Tsumugi content was being released, including the real-life delay of the Switch album. Chad RYDER. Coined by Postmain on Twitter, it was a meme talking about what Enstars characters' names would be if they were dubbed by 4Kids. One of the most popular memes of early Enstars fandom, and Kaoru's English name was Chad RYDER, spelled in all caps. DDD meaning. Many people ask, and Enstars still has not given an explanation to what exactly is a DDD, despite it being a central plot point in the main story. Fine. How the unit name Fine is supposed to be pronounced. Most people, I'm pretty sure, call them Fine, hence the distinction. Mika and Suzu are twins. Suzu Kuramori is a character in the Happy Elements game On Girls, which is a predecessor but also canonically in the same universe as Ensemble stars. Many characters are similar, including Mika and Suzu, but it was revealed in the graduation chapter of On Girls that the two are canonically twins who were separated at birth. In Valkyrie's Tanabata event, the two do meet before this revelation. There is too much to go into about Suzu and Enstars and On Girls in general for this video. The Wiki coup. Head admin Kazugami of the English Enstars Wiki was removed from position due to be generally inactive, but mainly because of the blatant refusal to change Arashi's pronouns. For many years it was he, him, but then was changed to avoid pronouns altogether. For many years the community advocated for Naruto to be addressed by she, her in her wiki page, and Kazugami would come back just to say that there was no canon evidence for that. Kazugami was then given the ultimatum to change it or be removed from the head admin position. Thus, Arashi was given back her correct pronouns, and Kazugami retained head admin status. The Sakamas are real vampires. Revealed in Crossroads, Rei and Ryitsu have a hereditary illness that makes them weak to sunlight, nocturnal, and want to drink blood. All their family claims to be related to vampires due to originating in Transylvania. In the Easter event, Rei also performs a blood-drinking ritual on Kaoru, and mentions that he had did it to Koga the year before. Also within this event, Rei and Adonis speak about a feud between their two families, but it is unknown if that has anything to do with vampirism. Enstars are shipping wiki. Because of the ongoing feud between anti and pro shippers, 3 separate wikis have been made in order to usurp power for being the database detailing Enstar shipping. It's exactly as ridiculous as it sounds. There are also meme wikis throwing themselves into the ring. The 3 most popular wikis are Enstar Ships, Enstar Shipped But Better, and Enstar Shipping. Seiya's age. Hokuto's father, who is a famous idol and also works as a teacher at Reimei, has not been given a canonical age. Survival Gay. Supposed to be a mispronunciation of survival game. Soma said this in a translation of the pool event. Overwatch is canon in Enstars. In Natsume's Unbloomed Disaster splash card, there is a recolored Overwatch game in the background. Hiyori popularity poll. June 2020, Enstars popularity poll comes out, and Hiyori took first place, leaving everyone confused in the Western fandom, which also led Hiyori to trend on Twitter. Aku no Saki. This is what the student council is called in the 2018 April Fool's event, where you play as the Media Rangers fighting against the evil student council. The event has its own lore and names for the characters, and was playable on the app after the event. Wandering Emperor. A cursed Daichi. Miami makes some fucking noise. DJ Samugi was a caption on some Samugi fan art by FNNNMS, and became a meme in the English Enstars community. Unit name Knight is taken. Detail in Checkmate, the original Mega Unit Chess disbanded due to the 2 to 5 member rule. Leon Izumi's unit was to be called Knight, but that name was already in use by one of the offshot units from Chess. Samugi's birthday 2017. August 7, 2017, after Samugi Curse had already revealed its head, Enstars' official Twitter made its usual birthday announcement, only for Samugi's birthday course to be entirely broken and unplayable, with no acknowledgement from Happy Elements for hours on end. Players were awarded Daya for the inconvenience. Samugi himself left a haunting message moments before. Hajime and Wataru are siblings. A theory that Wataru and Hajime are lost siblings. They have similar hair shades, and Wataru was adopted. Bishoujo Senpai. In the Ryuseitai Rabbit's Halloween and Rabbit Starfest, there is a mention of a cross-dressing senpai friend of Hajime. People believe that Bishoujo Senpai will be a new character and form a unit for Rhythm Link. Kohaku is an assassin. In many stories, Kohaku mentions the dirty work he does for his family, and in the Devil-Face stories, he is always ready to commit murder. Ibara commissions Enstars. In the Comic World Gotcha story, Kato and the others come across a parody manga based on Yume no Saki's students. Kato tries to find the one behind it, but at the end it is revealed to be Ibara, or at least strongly implied. Hey Enstars fandom, Enstars Kin included. This is a Tumblr ass turned copy pasta in 2017, and the whole thing is, hey Enstars fandom, Enstars Kin included, I've seen you doing this before. I see you making fun of Rainbow Circus. You're underestimating Fine, I think. You're the weak ones, and you're the next ones our unit's going to crush. Have you forgotten that we're still considered Yumenosaki's most formidable unit? Have you forgotten the events of the war? We still have it in us. Don't treat our song like a joke, and don't underestimate us. Niki, winner of the OnStar ship poll, and it's just Niki x Niki, and received a total of 10,000 votes, leading OnStar ship ranking to remove self-ships and bot voting. Shinkai Cult. In Ryusei Bonfire, Kanata's past is revealed, wherein he's a god able to grant wishes of the local religion. The cult seems to have ties to both the police and mafia through the Mikajima family, as well as funds, as they are able to send Kanata to Yumenosaki and install a fountain overnight at the school. It is the stem of Kanata and Madara's everything. Mademoiselle is haunted. Shu's precious doll seems to move by itself numerous times. Happy Elements equals Aichi, a joke theory that Aichi is actually in charge of Happy Elements and created Enstars. Wataru cannot be killed. Both Hokuto and Tomoya commonly discuss how Wataru is like a cockroach and would be hard to kill. Many other characters also mention the sentiment. GFK stands for Godfather's Successor, a corrupt producer that Double-Face dealt with in A Dark Knight's Passing, who lies about being the successor of a crime lord / entertainment Mongol, and also tried to use Leo to undermine OnSquare. Murderer Mikajima. In Shishingumi, Hokuto calls Madara this, and Madara, as seen in Double-Face, is ready to take up that title. Himeru is a clone. Theory that Crazy Bee member Himeru is an actual clone of another Himeru, due to many inconsistencies and strange behavior exhibited by Himeru, such as speaking like an entirely different entity and being a high school student despite graduating from university. This also goes hand in hand with the Himeru is 40 theory. Rei is the head of a vampire clan. As stated earlier, the vampire thing is an entire family thing, and because Rei is the head, he does that blood ritual every Easter. Yumecoin is a cryptocurrency. Yumecoins are not only a currency in-game, but also in-universe, where Aichi talks about it being a cryptocurrency. We are all Ira, a joke that the OnStars fans are embodied by Ira since he is a huge fan of many idols. OG Meru. Himeru in OnStars is actually the second idol Himeru, taking over since the original, or OG Himeru, quit being an idol. Athletic event server crash. From March 15th to March 25th, 2017, the photoshoot Form Athletics event ran and faced many server issues, with the server finally crashing on the last day, ruining rankings. To make up for this, if a player received 1 point or more, they got 20 Dia, the Kuro ranking 3-star, and the Koga ranking 4-star. If the player got 1 million or more points, they received the ranking 5-star Soma. Ibara poison. Ibara frequently mentions poisoning and ideas manipulation as poison. Even a solo song is called Poison Strategy. Niki is a cannibal. Niki was once on a cooking show with his father that was cancelled after rumors of his father being a cannibal emerged. Natsume Advanced VR System. In the gacha, Summer Flowers, Makoto gets transported into Natsume's extremely realistic VR system. This system is way more advanced than current VR tech, and Makoto often confuses it with reality. Anzu doesn't exist. Anzu does not appear in the manga adaptation or any stage adaptation, leading fans to believe that maybe she just doesn't exist sometimes. Akira is the final boss of Enstars. Joke that creator / main writer Akira is in fact the true villain in and outside of the Enstars universe and must be defeated to free us all. Tori is in control of the simulation. In episode 10 of the anime Last Period, there is a crossover event featuring other Happy Element properties. In the OnStars section, Tori is seen to be in control of the entire OnStars world Haru is transported to. Rei Time Loop. Popular Twitter theory by Dawn, @DawnMaiden on Twitter, that because of the events of the year repeat from different point of views, that the entire Yumenosaki is in a time loop, and would repeat the year over and over again, and that Rei Sakuma was the only character aware, and unlike everyone else, did not get his memory wiped at the end of the year. Thus is forced to live the year's events over and over and over. Last Period also did a Higurashi collab episode. Isn't that interesting? Yumenosaki is a figment of Eiichi's imagination. Another Twitter theory that details where all the events of the main story and OnStars did not happen, and are instead a fevered dream of a sick young man. Tatsumi killed Himeru. Tatsumi has been hinted at to have a history with the original Himeru, and many have theorized that Tatsumi had something to do with the original Himeru quitting being an idol. OnStars is a social experiment. When OnStars went on hiatus to be revamped as OnStars, Twitter users exclaimed that the game was a completed social experiment. This also hints at the fact that the content of the game are much different than the art and marketing. Every copy of Ensemble Stars is personalized. This is just commonly used on Iceberg memes. And that completes the original Ensemble Stars Iceberg. I do have 2 extra layers at the end. One is just onstage stuff, while the other is the final tier. The disappearance of Fushimi Yuzuru. Yutaka Nozaki was Yuzuru's original stage actor, and basically disappeared right after the Judge of Night stage play. He deleted his Twitter and left his idol group and agency. Turns out he just had graduated from high school in 2018 and wanted to quit the entertainment industry before focusing on college. But many people thought it was a big scandal because of Mitsuru's first stage actor. May 2018, after appearing as Mitsuru in the Judge of Night stage play, Mitsuru's original stage actor, Natsume Yudai, was fired from onstage and his agency after sexual harassment allegations and tweets emerged about his explicit sexual fantasies. Because of this, Marvelous, who was in charge of onstage, had to renegotiate everyone's contracts, which may have led to Fine and Akatsuki getting kicked out of onstage. All of the Fine and Akatsuki actors, except for Yuzuru's new actor, were fired from onstage after the onstage festival. None of the actors knew why they were fired, but the most plausible theory is that the agency cut ties with Marvelous after renegotiations. This led to actors posting emotional blog posts and trying their best to rebel against the situation. For example, they were told not to wear any of their characters' clothing during the event, but Kuro's old actor secretly wore one of Kuro's rings. Additionally, the old Akatsuki actors banded together and posted pictures of themselves in their Akatsuki outfits to combat the system. Mai-chan, Eiichi's actor, encouraged fans to watch the new actors with an open mind, but did not seem happy at all about the situation. Bullying Soma's stage actor. Fans did not like Soma's new stage actor, Fukuhara Keisuke, and accused him of being overweight and not caring about onstage enough. Keisuke fired back on Twitter to give him a chance, which led to fans wanting him fired. After starring in Memory of Marionette, he left on stage, which was likely a result of the negative fan reaction towards him. Noza Ren. Subaru's stage actor, Ren Ozawa, was fired from his agency due to domestic abuse allegations. As of early 2021, it is unknown how this affects onstage. The final layer. Omanjuu Ranch. The character ball things are called Omanjuu, and Enstars has made about 1 million of them. The advertising for the giant Omanjuu were hilarious. You would eat with it and take it on walks, and the ranch is a strip of fake grass and a white picket fence where, I guess, they hang out. And you go to take pictures. Many series have Manju, but only Enstars has a ranch for them. Keep them well fed and graze with caution, plus it's still active today. 3 Wink. This is a popular name for the Hinata Yuta Leo trio and a joke that they are more like triplets due to their similar appearance. Also, during the Cruising Live event, 2 Wink was referred to as 3 Wink in a mistype, which is added to the frustrations that many Twink P have about getting too little content and subpar content when there is some. The Dungeon, where boys are sent to when they don't have a card in a long time. Totoro was the first boy reported in the dungeon, but high-profile occupants are Samugi and Hajime. Maintenance. To this day, I have no idea what Shu and Mika mean by maintenance, and I'm too afraid to ask. Shu is a pedophile. Shu has also been accused of being a pedophile by fans because he says he likes boys who wear shorts, especially rabbits. He also carried Mitsuru when he got hurt in the Bad Boys Gotcha story, which spurred on further accusations. The Stench. In the Ryusei Tai Mom Rabbit's Halloween event, Chiaki says not to get their clothes dirty since they'll have to wear the same things for 2 weeks, which led everyone to make the assumption that Chiaki in fact does not shower, or at least is comfortable with not showering for 2 weeks. It has also been mentioned by many characters in many different stories that the Light Music Club and the hallway outside it smell disgusting. Rei Setsubun. During the Setsubun event, Rei proved capable of being able to use the phone despite claiming that he didn't know how to work technology. He also allegedly tried to record and broadcast Hinata's suicide attempt to the entire school. In the story, this was not addressed as messed up, and was heralded as a good thing. Also, at the time, this was the highest ranking 5-star card. Izumi P quitting. Izumi's Requiem 4-star ended up costing more points than a rank Samugi 5-star. After this event, someone questioned why certain Izumi P spent so much time and money to max out this particular Izumi card. After this questioning, the Izumi P was so insulted that she quit the game. Pretending not to sleep. During Requiem, there was drama between first and second place. Second place was carrying points non-stop, yet would change their name to recommend sleep and how many hours they got, and first place ended up making a call-out thread on Twitter which caused second place to admit that they hadn't been sleeping at all and instead was lying in order to get ahead of the other top 10 players. Second place ended up ranking first in the event and had to make a public apology on Twitter for misleading everyone. Basically, Requiem was not a joke and truly a nightmare event. Knights P go hard and Leo P go harder, and if there is another event, we won't survive. Kaoru P self-harm. When the Enstars anime first began airing, Kaoru P cut herself and posted images of her wounds on Twitter because she didn't like how Kaoru is portrayed in the anime. However, the Kaoru P was actually a trickstar P in disguise who just wanted to make Kaoru P look bad. This is real. Okay, that's all. This is probably gonna be a pretty longish video. There's a pretty even divide between just fan community Twitter stuff and then like actual game content. I do miss the old days where there would be like memes all the time and random people would be losing their shit all the time too. But people move on and I think it's ultimately for the best. I wanted to add a bit more on my side, but then they were getting way too in-depth, like a whole cause pro family tree and then like going into like longer backstories of characters that are pretty accessible if you read the right stories. But ultimately I decided not to because I'd get way too biased towards units and lore that like I'm personally into, and there would have been way more Valkyrie. So you should be glad that I controlled myself. So yeah, if you want to know more about Enstars, the best way is to truly just go and read the stories. It's kind of hard now because some people have taken down their translations. I could have also made like a completely new chart for just onstage stuff because it's crazy. So anyway, bye. Also, tag yourself. I'm at the ranch with the boys because I'm overweight and don't care about onstage enough.